Okay,
All right.
I am X7. Oh, all right, let me try that again.
Were we doing an outro just now?
Well, I was, apparently. They see me mow in the
Yeah.
front lawn. I know they're all thinking I'm too white and nerdy. Think I'm just too white and nerdy.
What does it represent? Yo.
I was gonna write you an email, but I'm a little drunk and spelling is a sober person's game. So I feel I owe you a splanation. I'm sorry. A splanation.
I'm not drunk enough for this topic.
Oh, you're watching Monarch without any. I've not watched it. I haven't watched any of those. I've watched two of the new Godzilla movies and that Kong of Skull Island. And I had to actually agree with the bell end about that Godzilla King of the Monsters.
Oh, what did he say about it?
Never ending, something to that effect. It just went on and on. Sometimes less is more. All right, shall we get started here?
Yes.
I want to drink more. We're going to be drinking all night long. Okay,
All right.
I am X7. Oh. All right, let me try that again.
Were we doing an outro just now?
Well, I was, apparently. I still have to finish but the rest of my podcast episode after this, so that might be a more interesting thing.
Yes.
I forgot to do it over lunch, and I'm like, I got 10 minutes. I can at least do half, and I did do half of it. And, oh boy. Anyway,
You just got quiet for a second.
I did.
Yeah.
Am I back? They see me mow in
Yeah.
the front lawn. I know they're all thinking I'm too white and nerdy. Think I'm just too white and nerdy. That's gonna make the. God damn it. All right.
Just
Welcome
let you
back.
do what you do.
You just let me do these things. Some kind of. Oh, my partner in crime here. All right. We'll rewind here. Welcome back, our fellow agents, our hellions, our viewers. I am X7, your very much animated agent of awesome. With me, as always, is the not nearly awesome, but generally awesome in real life, Lilith Draco.
Hi, welcome back. Please like, share, subscribe, and leave us a comment.
Yeah, let us know what you think about this topic. Is Lilith wrong? Probably.
Probably.
She doesn't know kaiju, but she's probably going to learn more now than she ever wanted
Than I've
to.
ever wanted to. Yes.
She chose to be in my life. She gave me the book
It's true.
and gave me the video. Way more better than the book.
What are you drinking?
I have yet another Massive Gravity
Nice.
by Ecliptic. It's an Imperial Stout. It's a 10%er, and it's working its ass off. It doesn't even
I
have
can
to.
tell.
Yeah.
I can tell.
What you got there, Lil?
I am drinking my fourth Voodoo Ranger IPA by New Belgium. They're in Colorado. It's pretty good, though I'm ready for a different beers because
We didn't get to go to New Belgium the last time we were in Fort Collins, did we?
no, we didn't. No, we didn't. We had
Dumb reasons.
other stupid things
Another,
happening.
I'd say another bell end, but that probably isn't true.
Kind of, yeah.
Um, okay, well, this topic was your idea. Was
This is my topic.
all on the list.
Shocking. So, I have started watching the show Monarch. They just came out with season 2. I hadn't seen season 1. So I thought, oh, that looks interesting. So I start watching season 1. Lo and behold, Godzilla's in it. Along with other giant monsters.
A Godzilla.
King Kong's in it. And they're actually the only 2 monsters in it that I recognize.
Right.
I assume that all the other monsters in it are known monsters. I just don't know them.
Probably not. I don't either.
I don't know. I honestly don't know, and I haven't researched it. But I'm enjoying the show. I am in season 2, and it is pretty good.
Legacy of Monsters.
Yes.
Oh, God. I'm not a big fan of the current iteration, American iteration. It's better than the previous American iteration of Godzilla, but
Well,
because that giant lizard sucked.
so I've never seen any other Godzilla movie or anything. I've seen King Kong, and I'm familiar with King Kong, but I've never seen a Godzilla. So this is my first. I mean, I've known of Godzilla, obviously, but this is my first thing that I've watched
Okay.
that has him in it.
Um,
She, her, him.
King,
It.
King of the
King?
Monsters. King. What does king imply or infer? He.
Well, I'm not saying he's king.
It's the title, Godzilla, King of the Monsters.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't know that. I don't. Again, I'm not a big Godzilla
Okay.
fan, so I really don't know.
We're just gonna go with he, because King.
Okay.
Okay. Sorry. um, so, I had a point here. I was trying to see which monsters are in the movies
Oh.
or in the show, because they. Anyway,
So
yeah.
because
you
I
can-
have not seen it, one of the questions that I have is Monarch a common company or research company team, whatever, in some of the more recent movies? Because they do go to Skull Island and they meet King Kong,
Right.
and so it's the Skull Island research, whatever. So that got me wondering, is Monarch actually part of all of the lore, or is it just now? And then it made me wonder how you first came across Godzilla.
Okay. So Monarch was introduced, I believe, in the end credit scenes of the unfortunate 2014 Godzilla movie that
Okay.
Gareth Edwards made, where he showed Godzilla for like 8 minutes in a 2.5 hour movie.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
I
that
remember
was
hearing
nuts.
about that.
But interestingly enough, Elizabeth Olsen and the guy that played Pietro in Age of Ultron were husband and wife in that movie. That's not weird at all now. He did not see that coming. I was very annoyed by the end of that movie because,
I can tell.
yes. So Monarch started then in 2014. That's the, they have the Godzilla verse or whatever they're calling that, the Monarch verse, where they tied the King Kong Skull Island, which I did enjoy for the most part. Loki's in it, so it was better than the first Godzilla. I've
Okay.
only seen those. Then I saw the next Godzilla, the one called King of the Monsters without the exclamation point, and it just was never. It was too much for me, and I've not seen anything since then. I don't care for the way that they made Godzilla, the U.S. Godzilla, look. Again, still better than the '98 Godzilla, because blah. King Kong or Kong of Skull Island I like because he wasn't just a giant silverback ape. He was a mysterious ape god of Skull Island. So I like that.
Okay.
But other than that, Monarchs, that that's their
Okay.
separate universe.
Okay.
Whatever they call the legendary verse or something or another. I don't know.
Right.
I've
Okay.
seen one. I think the one legendary movie I've liked has been The Hangover.
Ah,
So, which I saw with you, coincidentally
yes.
enough.
Ah. That's why you liked it.
Yeah, probably so. Was that? That's not the one. Oh no, that was the 40-year-old virgin, which I saw with you, where they ripped
Yes.
off his feet.
That's a great one too.
Yeah, I think you did that on purpose. I had a lot of those action figures, which were dolls at the time. But so, as a part of, as far as your other question about how I X7 discovered Godzilla, that's a story. I had discovered dinosaurs about age 5, maybe even right around age 5, I'd say, from the Kaiser Public Library, where Mom rented me the book The Wonderful Egg, which was not about a bird, even though they thought it was. Archaeopteryx is not a bird,
No.
even though that is a superpower,
Yes.
which I believe we've discussed.
We have. That was one of our. I think that was our very first dinosaur superpower.
And it's a good one because it's still mystifying. I mean,
Yes.
it's a weensy little thing.
Tiny little-
I don't think it's a bird. I don't think it's a bird, but again, I'm not a paleontologist. So I knew what dinosaurs were, and I was obviously fascinated by them. I believe after that I'd seen 1 Million Years BC with Raquel Welch. Not that she had anything to do with my fascination. It also has dinosaurs in it. But then, at Christmas time, I want to say, and I'm guessing because I was a young agent and don't remember.
Yes.
I was taken to a movie. They always had a feature at the Trojan Theater here in Fossil Bed, where you could dump your kid. They'd have a movie and they'd have games. You could win stuff, which I never did. Not that I'm still salty about it. 55 years later, but they'd have games. It was all around right the Christmas break, so they could dump their kids out. The theater was full of kids, and they might have had 1 or 2 shows. I don't know, but our parents, my mom's friend group, dumped us off to get rid of us for probably about 3 hours.
Yeah.
We all sat in the same row, and none of us won anything. And they were showing King Kong versus Godzilla, the 1962 American version, because the Japanese version is a little different, but we'll not deal with that at the moment. And I had no idea what it was about. I didn't know who King Kong was. I didn't know who Godzilla was. And somebody must have said, "Well, Godzilla's like a big dinosaur," which would have been enough to get my attention.
Right.
So I just wandered in, little, almost 6-year-old, my brother, and I don't know, there were 5 or 6 or 8 of us. I don't remember anymore, but it sat down, plopped down. We watched. There were a couple of cartoons. They had they had the contest first, where somebody come out and give away gifts. Your ticket matches this number. Well, mine did not.
Ah.
And then they'd show a couple of cartoons, because the movie's only 90 minutes long, so they had to they had to keep us away for
Yes.
3 hours to give the parents a break at Christmas time, or to go buy gifts. Who knows what?
Yes.
Or drink. I don't know. But,
Yes.
so they start the movie, and then and at 5 years old, or almost 6, the movie could be a little scary, because you're still not quite...
Right.
I didn't know it was Japanese. They didn't say that, because the American version has American actors inserted into it, but I just accepted it for what it was. And Godzilla comes out of his Arctic prison. He was in an iceberg, which he was trapped in the previous movie. I didn't know anything about that either. And King Kong, they take him off Faroe Island, not Skull Island, so it's a Kong, not the Kong.
Okay.
But every giant ape is just going to be called Kong. It's just
Right.
going to happen. And I watched, and also the other thing that was really cool about it was Kong fights a giant octopus in the first part of the movie, which also has stop motion animated tentacles, which I had to point out to a certain bell end
Nice.
at some point in
Nice.
time. Who
So
didn't believe
nerdy.
me, because he's a dink.
Yeah.
So I got all three. I got my first Godzilla movie, my first King Kong movie, and my first Giant Octopus movie all at once.
Nice.
And it was a lot of fun. I mean, it's not played very. I mean, the U.S. version plays it a little too seriously. The Japanese version is definitely an action comedy, monster comedy sort of thing. Because Godzilla claps when he wins King Kong. King Kong gets drunk. Essentially, he gets drunk.
Nice.
And they fight, and they do wrestling moves, arm drag takedowns, not a DDT because it hadn't been invented yet, but stuff like that. So it's a fun movie. The audience cheers for Kong all the way through. We all did because it was, that he was the good guy.
Right.
So it obviously had an impression on me.
Obviously,
I have a Godzilla tattoo, but I do have a Japanese monster on my leg,
Yes.
which you were present at
Yes.
instead of going to Comic Con.
Instead of going to Comic-Con.
Yes, that damn Agent Tron. Thought that was funny.
So, this movie, was this the first time Godzilla fought another giant monster in the series?
Excellent question, and the answer is no. The previous movie, where he got trapped in the iceberg or in ice, he fought Anguirus, or as Toho calls him now, Anguirus, who is based on the Ankylosaurus. So he's got a carapace that's spiky, and they were just came back because the first Godzilla was disintegrated in Godzilla King of the Monsters.
Okay.
So there was just another one because there could be another one. There's one, there could be two. Monster logic. But I didn't see that movie. It's called Gigantus the Fire Monster, and its original U.S. dub, Godzilla Raids Again, was the one titled. It's a little longer. Neither of them. It's not a great movie, but it was the first time two giant monsters of any country battled battled each other.
Okay.
Godzilla wins. He's the bad guy, and he still wins.
Nice.
It's like having, Ric Flair beat Hulk Hogan, right?
Right.
Hulk's the good guy. Not in real life, but
Yeah.
anyway.
Okay, so is the suit used for Godzilla in this film considered one of the most controversial designs in the franchise?
I would not think so. It was one of the most popular ones.
Okay.
As one, it's very lizard-like. It took away the ears and took away one of the toes. He used to have 4 toes and he had 3, and that remained constant. But the Aurora models used that basis for its glow-in-the-dark model, which had the glow-in-the-dark head, hands, and feet, and back spine for reasons. And I had like 4 of those.
Of course.
I suck at making models. I get glue everywhere. I'm the Calvin of making models. Give me another $4. I'm sure I can do it better the next time.
All right. So what challenge?
Iconic design.
Okay. So what challenges did the suit actors face filming the battle scenes in the heavy Godzilla costume?
That's you have good question. You have done some research here. So Nakajima-san, Haruo Nakajima, whom I've met, or before he passed away, I can hardly believe I met the guy in the original guy in the Godzilla suit. The original suit was 110 kilograms, so 220 pounds. Because it was the first time they'd ever done something like that. They slimmed it down and made it less heavy, but the head was up here. Godzilla's head was, his shoulders. He was looking out the neck. There were 2 holes. You can see if you look hard, if you know what you're looking for. So he had limited vision.
Okay.
The suits got lighter as their techniques got better, so they could move around. By the time he was wrestling King Kong, they were lighter, and he choreographed the battles a lot.
Okay.
Because he knew how to do it, and he would work with I forget who was in the King Kong suit. The King Kong suit in this movie is not very good.
Okay.
And he looks like a stuffed something. Like duck lips. Not many apes have duck lips. So there was limited visibility. It was heavy. In that first movie in '54, he lost weight because he'd sweat out under the hot studio lights.
Oh,
and
yeah.
in a 220-pound suit. And a lot of times they had a half suit when they were showing him walking, so they didn't have to.
Okay, so didn't have to.
Yeah, but he was Nakajima-san was a ninth or 10th dan in karate,
Huh?
so he had intestinal fortitude, and his stamina was good, and he still almost
It
fainted.
still was.
And they
Yeah.
would have to drain his suit of sweat every take. He could
Oh,
wear it
that's
like 5
gross.
minutes. So that got better as they got, they got radio controlled, radio so they can move the head and open the mouth and the eyeballs. But that was they were learning on the job how to do these suits.
Okay.
So they were heavy, and yes, and those hot studio lights. This was the first color Godzilla movie.
Okay.
They were also shooting in widescreen.
Ah.
That had to be taken into consideration, but they did a really good job, and they knew that it wasn't going to be a true series. It was the most popular Godzilla movie in Japan for it might still be. It sold 11 million
Interesting.
tickets,
Wow.
which at the time was huge.
Right.
Which made him make another 11 movies.
Yes.
So yeah, it was.
Okay.
People fans. As a kid, you think, "Oh, I want to wear one of those," without knowing it's not form fitting. You're not looking through the eyes.
Right. Right.
It's heavy, and you're gonna sweat your bald cap off to pull
Yes.
that Hofstetter.
Yes.
I wanted one. Boy, I wanted
Yeah.
a suit. But
Oh, of course.
if I could make it 2 minutes, I'd be. If I could be in a, I'd wear it still if I could. But
Just for a couple minutes, not you wouldn't want to
probably
do
a
a
young
full fight
man's
scene.
game. It's probably a young man's game now.
Yes. Yes. So how did they create the monster fight scenes with the technology of the early 1960s?
So they would choreograph it. Nakajima and his coworker, because they were stuntmen and as well, would choreograph it without the suit on, and then they'd work it with the suit on because they couldn't. Film was expensive. You couldn't do multiple takes like digital now. You just erase it.
Yeah.
And also, Godzilla's tail had a wire attached to it, at least one, if not two. So they had to be aware of that. And so they'd have to practice and practice and practice. As someone who has done a stage play once for like 2 minutes, and you can find it on YouTube, where I get beat up by Spectre Man.
Nice.
We practiced. That was on a Sunday. We got there Friday, and Damon had us running through it and do this, do that. And he knew his choreography, so he wouldn't kick you, but it looked like he kicked you. I learned a lot, and the sell is the really important thing. So I'm assuming that they, I don't know what Nakajima-san had in his background. He was an actor. He also shows up as a human in the movies a lot, because he's a body, and he was there. So, but he knew how to not kill each other.
Yeah.
In a suit with limited visibility, so they had to know what they were going to do, how they were going to roll, when to sell properly to make shine the other monster. A lot of practice went into it before they even got in the suits.
Okay.
So like stuntmen, I mean,
Yeah.
they had to do it, but he had also studied how to move without looking like complete human in it.
Right. Right.
So a lot of monster movies will have somebody walking around and it looks like a human is walking in a monster suit.
Oh yeah.
And he managed to give Godzilla a personality or monstrality. And his co-star, his co-monster star, Monstar, would do the same thing. Would learn they learned from each other. Everyone on Japanese sets would do things. If they needed sets moved around, cast and crew would move stuff to get it done. There were no prima donnas there. They just were all part of the same crew. So that's one of the good things. So
Yes.
and they did get in trouble occasionally. They'd get too much water in their suits, or
Oh yeah.
they would get hit. Something would clunk wrong, or they'd catch on fire.
Oh geez.
And they'd often leave those in the movies because they look great.
Right.
But
Of
they'd have
course.
to be right there to put them out.
Oh geez.
Yeah, everyone was responsible for everyone's safety.
Wow. Crazy.
Yeah, I mean they were not just cheap jack movies, no matter what
Right.
Western critics said.
Huh. Interesting. So, is this the first film where Godzilla starts becoming more of an anti-hero rather than a pure villain?
No, he was still a villain in this one. He was still a villain in the next one, Godzilla versus the Thing, aka Mothra versus Godzilla, where he fights the big moth. But he turned into he went face, to use a wrestling term,
Okay.
turned hero in Ghidorah the Three-Headed Monster, where he starts out blowing up a ship, just killing everybody on it. But by the end of they have a bigger menace. You know, Godzilla's an asshole, but he's our asshole, so we're going to cheer him.
Okay.
He
Yeah.
and Rodan and Mothra team up to beat Ghidorah the Three-Headed Monster
Okay.
because it's from outer space and it's going to destroy the world. So it was
Okay.
another two, but he was, he
Okay.
was obviously popular. They weren't
Right.
going to keep him, and they needed to keep the character fresh because
Mm-hmm.
if you stay the villain, which some fans always, Godzilla should always be a villain. That's going to be boring after a while.
Yeah.
It's going to be the same movie over and over, and that's
Yeah.
just not good.
Right.
Yeah, this was not the first. This was
Okay.
he was still a villain though,
He's
even
still a
though some
villain.
fans don't want to acknowledge it.
Okay. How strong is Godzilla in this movie compared to Kong? Was he actually weaker, or was it just the plot favoring Kong?
He's stronger than Kong. That's a given. Kong does not have a chance because Godzilla's to quote the movie, a walking flamethrower, and Kong has no power like that. However, the movie gives him when Kong gets struck by lightning, it hulks him. It's like Popeye having spinach, to use the original. He's had all he can stands. He can't stand no more. So he powers up. Godzilla is weak for electricity in this movie because that changes later on because it's loose continuity. So King Kong gets struck by lightning and can withstand the fire and is braver, and that's when the tide turns. But again, I use the wrestling match where the bad guy, the good guy has a couple of, takes over a little bit, everyone thinks it's going bad, then he does something dumb, and the bad guy takes over and beats him down, and you think, and you're cheering for him to go, you can do it. And then finally he gets struck by lightning, or he pulls the strap down, or he hulks up, and then he can beat Godzilla. And the ending is vague of the movie. Godzilla, they fall in the water together, Kong swims off.
Yep.
It's like, okay, so Godzilla didn't, we don't see a body, and then, in
Yep.
comic books and movies, or especially soap operas, if you don't see a body, they're coming back.
Yep.
So Godzilla's stronger, but Kong is smarter. Kong is a thinking animal. Godzilla
Okay.
has a brain about this size.
Right.
They say that
Right.
in the English people.
Okay.
I might have seen it a couple of times.
So that is something that I found as I was researching, is that people have their personal feelings on who wins, and I think it's who you are most like. And so that's the thing, is who actually won, because you don't actually see a definitive winner in the end. So it's interesting, because I know you mentioned earlier that you believe Godzilla won.
No.
Oh,
Kong.
you said Kong won. Okay.
Kong won. There's no question about that.
Okay. But
I mean-
if it's still vague, why do you say Kong won?
Well, in the U.S. version, Kong swims off, and the American guy says, "We wish Kong a good journey home back to Faroe Island." And then you hear Kong roar.
Okay.
In the Japanese version, he swims off, and then you hear both monsters roar, saying, and it was Toho's way of saying, "Thank you. We hope you've enjoyed." It was kind of a breaking the fourth wall thing.
Okay.
But in Toho's own press book, selling it to the English audience, it says Kong won, and Kong was the hero. Everyone cheered. Everyone in that audience I was in, and every time even though I loved Godzilla when he turned into the superhero
Yeah.
in the 70s, I knew he was the bad guy. I didn't have a problem with that because
Yeah.
he's a talented actor.
Oh, yeah.
Acting. So everyone in that audience cheered for Kong. Nobody cheered for Godzilla. Nobody. Even I tried to a couple of times because I like Godzilla, and I'm like, I gotta support. Nope, can't do it. That audience, that emotional wave that you
Oh
feel,
yeah. Oh
it will.
yeah.
And I gave it, and all of us did. We tried. We're gonna cheer for Godzilla because we're cool. Nope, it didn't work. Couldn't do it. But you go see Godzilla versus Megalon, you cheer for Godzilla and Jet Jaguar.
Well, yeah.
So yeah, Godzilla lost. I mean, just they
Okay.
need to get over it and suck it up. Toho now says it was a draw.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Ugh.
All right. Anything more?
Was that the last question?
That's
the
my last question.
seventh question. No, I know that Godzilla is an acquired taste, and when you see something at a young age, that's I was 6, 7, almost 6, and also combined with he was considered a dinosaur at the time, and
Yes.
a kind of dinosaur, like a kind of
Mutated dinosaur.
yeah. So that it all played into it, and Japanese movies at the time were not concerned with looking realistic. They just wanted to give you a good time,
Yes.
tell a good story out of and make you say, "Oh, I really enjoyed that." And for whatever reason, it appealed to me, and it's those movies still do. I still watch them, not maybe every couple of years because I don't want them to. If you watch them too much, which when VHS came out, I did. You overwatch things, and you get the saturation effect, like with superheroes.
Yes.
So that's all. I mean, but I don't expect. I would never ask you unless this was your idea. I would not have brought this up. I was a little surprised. So, but just because I don't want the bored girlfriend effect that I've seen so often at Comic-Con. Not from you.
Not for
'cause
me.
You go by yourself.
And I do experiences, and I get into panels, and I'm right there.
Yeah. So, but I did have a girlfriend tell me she was going to go see Godzilla 2000 with me, and I almost fell out of the chair.
Yes.
You what? Well, you're getting good. You're getting good
Yeah.
tonight. We're taking the scenic route, 45 minutes. She did not like the movie.
But at least she was willing to go.
I did not expect that, and I appreciate it, and I think I showed her my appreciation. It's
Well-
like singing the Spider-Man theme song to me.
Yes. And like I said, the Monarch is the first thing, and I really am enjoying it. Like,
It's a different take, and
it is a different take, and I'm assuming that the Godzilla that they're using in the show is more of the today modern Godzilla, not the 50s, 60s Japanese version.
No, it has nothing to do with those. I mean, except
Right.
for stealing all of the monster names and everything.
Yes. And Kong so far is, even though he breaks into the research center and destroys it, he still is a good guy. Like he still, like, he let them on his island and didn't bother them until they did something to piss him off.
Did you see Kong Skull Island?
I've
Is that-
seen a couple. I don't remember which ones, but I've seen a couple King Kong movies.
That had Loki in it. Tom Middleston. Is that his last name?
No, middle something close.
No, it had Loki. It had Loki in it.
I don't know. I can't tell you because the movies I've seen, it's been like once, and so it's really easy for me to forget. So I know I've seen them, but
That one was enjoyable. They could have edited out about 20 minutes, which I say about a lot of movies. But
well, and I know I've seen the Kong movie with Faye something where she's like all strapped up. It's an old.
Have you seen the original one, the black and white one, or the color one from '76? Is what it sounds like you're.
Maybe the colored one. I don't know. Faye something or something. Faye.
Fay Ray is in the.
Faye Ray. That's the one I've seen.
The original one is a wonderful movie. I mean, yeah, but it's like comparing Christopher Reeve to whoever this kid was in the new one, right?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I don't know. It might be fun. Is it a Netflix thing or
I don't know.
Apple
But
TV?
But I didn't think I would enjoy a monster like that kind of thing because I've never been drawn to, like I've never seen Planet of the Apes, things like that. I'm not normally drawn to, but I am really enjoying Monarch. But it's also part of it is not necessarily the monsters, it's just the storyline in general and the actors. They do a great job. It's got Kurt Russell, it's got his son, who is his younger version in the show, because anyway.
What? The Patriot, the Super Patriot's in there. Wyatt Russell, there he is.
Yeah.
He's really
And he does a great job.
I hate it. I mean, I hate his character in the Falcon and the Snowman, or the Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Well, yes, but
that means he's a good actor because if he could,
yeah, and he's really good in this, and everybody else in it is really good, and so I'm really enjoying it. But again, I'm unfamiliar with the monsters other than Godzilla and King Kong, and again, I don't know if they're real monsters or just made for the show. But
yeah, I was trying to see if they had a list of them, and I don't see any lists like who they are or what monsters.
The newest monster that came about that actually pissed off King Kong, because now King Kong feels like he has to take care of the monster because it's going to destroy the world. But it's some octopus thingy that swam out into the water, and Kong couldn't get it.
It's not helping. You're not helping me.
Sorry.
Not you. I'm sorry. I'm yelling at Wikipedia. Because I don't. I mean, they've invented some. I know one of the movies used a lot of the Rodan and Mothra and King Ghidorah, but I don't know if they've made up. They probably made up a bunch of them.
I'm sure they did.
So I mean, Japanese monsters are innately Japanese, innately Asian, and are not just giant creatures. They're not just giant animals like dinosaurs are now. They're not.
Right.
They're innate. They have personalities, or at least a purpose. Godzilla was a metaphor for the atomic bomb originally, and then they gave him a little more personality and a little more and a little more, and then So that's one of the things that I just don't think Americans can get, because when our giant monster movies, they were animals to be stopped and killed, and that was it. They were just, giant dinosaurs. They were, mutated animals, but they didn't go out of their way just to, they were just there. Tarantula was a giant tarantula that needed to be stopped because it was eating people.
Yeah.
Things like that. Japanese monsters are different. They're just, and that's one of the things that appeals.
Okay.
Is that it's a different take, and it's like Japanese cartoons are different. They're not Western cartoons.
Right.
And there's pluses and minuses to both of them. Mm-hmm. And that's, I would hate that everything looked the same.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So, as long as they don't think that kaiju are just animals, because the name literally means strange creature, not strange animal.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, anyway, I want one.
Okay.
Well, is that it? We're going to wrap it up?
Yeah, our viewers, let us know in the comment section if you think Godzilla won or if you are on Team King Kong.
I'm not on Team King Kong, but the movie
Well, let us know who you think actually won the movie, if you've seen it. Even
Yes.
though later documents say, let us know who initially you thought actually won.
When I have friends that will have opinions.
Mm-hmm.
Not
Let us know. That's
All
it.
right. Yes, let us know, and we will wrap things up before I get off on another tangent, because we need to eat some food.
Yes.
And it's probably time, Luann.
It is time, Luann.
All right. Well, my fellow agents, our fellow believers and hellions, I am X7, who is definitely your agent of awesome at this point in time. With me, as always, is the wonderful and, again, just always surprising Lilith Draco.
Bye. Commit to the bit.
Be seeing you.